Hello everyone, I'm Richard, and in this video I'm going to talk about how do you get to space. Now, I'm not a physicist. There is a doppelganger out there who is a physicist, so if you want to ask him these questions, please do. And if you want to know his name is Professor Brian Cox. Brian Cox, if you're watching this, hello. Anyway, how do you get to space? Now, most people would say rockets. Obvious. And yeah, fair enough, it is obvious using rockets. However, it is very expensive to use, especially the rocket fuel. And also, if you think about it, like the old Saturn V rockets and the Soyuz, what the Russians are using, they're very, very tall to begin with on the Earth. You know, like Saturn V is 110 meters tall. And the Soyuz rocket is, trying to have a look, it's over 50 meters tall. But the trouble is, once they get into space, they suddenly shrink down to a size of like a garden shed, really, because that's due to gravity and mass. And all that fuel is being used just to get off the Earth, to get into space, which is quite expensive if you think about it. But there are other ways how to get into space as well. One of them, funny enough, is it's so old tech, it's like from a Jules Verne movie, Voyage to the Moon, and that is a space cannon. And there are a good example of a space cannon. It's called the HARP project. Now, the HARP project is essentially a 16-inch gun which you put in like a little capsule or a satellite, and it just shoots it straight into space around the where the GPS satellites are. It's that kind of range, and it's a 16-inch gun with a very high velocity. So that could work. Very good for cargo and things. And you can see these because these guns were used during the 1950s, and they worked to some success. But there are two existing space guns, or space cannons. One of them is in Barbados, and the other one is in Arizona. Now, another way how you get into space, quite cheaply I think, is called a space elevator, or space lift if you're British, which I am. Anyway, space elevator. Now, a space elevator is essentially like a normal lift, except it's over 3 kilometers tall up into space, and you have a space station at the top. And how you get your elevator car up and down is either using lasers, again, very handy to use, that laser, sorry, Dr. Evil, or I would use maglev. It's really good. It's very good for, again, sending cargo up. If you have like a space, like elevator car, which is about the size of a 3-story building, you think of how much cargo you can whack into that car and send it into space. Long-term expensive, short-term might actually be a good idea. So there's the space elevator idea. Now, I've already spoke about rocketry, so I don't need to do any more about rockets, but the last idea I like the most, it's called a jet rocket system. It's a compound of both. So you start off with a jet engine to get into the stratosphere, and then straight away it kicks in, rocket, out, into Earth's orbit. It's a very good example of this project going on, and it's called Skylong. Skylong is a British well, it's a British idea basically, sorry, British idea. And the first test flight is in the year 2025, so I can't wait for that. And the advantage of the compound idea, the rocket and jet engine idea, is it can also work for passengers as well as cargo. Now, a good example of, except Skylong, which is a good example of this technology, is from a Japanese anime I used to watch called Nadesico. Now, the Nadesico also has the same propulsion system, which is jet engine to begin with, then rocket when it hits the atmosphere, into Earth's orbit. So they're all very good ideas. Let me know what you think is the best idea. And if you got any questions, please, if you like, ask me, that'd be great. If not, ask Professor Brian Cox. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful time and a happy Easter. Anyway, take care, all the best, bye bye.